Good afternoon and welcome into sunny Homewood Field here in Baltimore, Maryland, as the Johns Hopkins Blue Jays get set to take on the Washington and Lee Generals here on HopTV. I'm Connor Newcomb, saying thank you so much for joining us today as Hopkins kicks off this Blue Jay Invitational here at Homewood Field against Washington and Lee. Of course, 4 games over 2 days here in Baltimore, and it'll start with the host team, Hopkins, taking on Washington and Lee. Mary Washington will play Montclair State at 3:30, and then tomorrow it will be the Jays against Montclair State, and Washington and Lee will play Mary Washington, the one team that Hopkins won't see in this invitational because that's the team they just lost to last Saturday. A 2-1 overtime loss to Mary Washington on the road last Saturday after they took a 3-1 victory over Hampton-Sydney down at the Mary Washington Classic last weekend. So the Jays come in at 1-1 this year and looking to get back over 500 with a victory today. Washington and Lee, on the other hand, they come in at a perfect 2-0 on the season. They have not yet conceded a goal, and in fact, an incredible stretch that this Generals team is on. Dating back to the 2018 season, Washington and Lee has pitched 9 consecutive shutouts. They've gone 835 consecutive minutes without allowing a goal. So it's going to be tough for this Hopkins offense, which has the 4 goals in 2 games so far this season, to try and get one in the back of the net today and break that shutout streak for this Washington and Lee defense. And of course, Michael Nick, the sophomore goalkeeper for the Generals, who has been so good this season, 6 saves in 2 games. He has not allowed a goal in over 1,000 consecutive minutes of play, which is a school record at Washington and Lee. So the Blue Jays are going to look to do a lot to get one in the back of the net today. And they're probably going to look up top and potentially for Pablo Martinez, the junior striker, who has 1 goal on the season and will start again today. Obviously, of course, Akim Yonker, one of the leading scorers in Hopkins history over the last few years. He hasn't played in the first 2 games. He's not in the starting lineup today. We'll see if we get a chance to see him in this one for the first time in 2019. But Washington and Lee is in the dark blue faded jerseys. They will start with the ball. Hopkins in the white shirts and the blue shorts as we're off from Homewood Field. Hopkins and Washington and Lee here on HopTV. The Blue Jays at 1-1, ranked 22nd in the nation. Washington and Lee unranked, but they are perfect 2-0. Hopkins will play it out of the back a little dangerously here. Some passing back and forth to the goalkeeper, Xander Lefevre, and some dangerous play in the back from Hopkins so far, but they've evaded pressure, and now the Blue Jays will look to start the first true possession of the day. Hopkins again a 3-1 win last Friday, a 2-1 overtime loss on Saturday. So they've had a week off, and now we'll play in back-to-back days today and tomorrow here at Homewood Field. A lot of possession for Hopkins so far. In their half is that defensive 3 back there is looking to control possession. It's back to Xander Lefevre, the junior goalkeeper out of Glenwood, Maryland, who has played every minute so far in this season and made 20 starts in goal last year, was a second-team All-Centennial Conference selection. But so far this year, 3 goals have gotten by him. Hopkins will try and play a long ball. It's going to be Nick who's going to play it away to the center of the field. And a little bit of contact there, and the whistle will blow after advantage is played. As for Washington and Lee, it was Kyle Derish who got in there a little too aggressively, the senior out of Houston, Texas. And here comes Hopkins with the ball quickly again. And they'll play it into the back here. Hopkins, its home opener here in this Blue Jay Invitational. Coming off a 13-5-2 season last year where they went to the NCAA second round. Hopkins with the first real chance. A cross into the middle is deflected away. And our first corner of the day will go to the Blue Jays. So Hopkins started a little slow in the back, but they come up quickly And they've got the first real scoring chance of the day. A corner for Hopkins here. That's Liam Creedon, the junior midfielder, who will take the corner. He's got an option to play it short. Instead, swings it into the box, and it's headed away by the Generals. Hopkins looking to keep it in, though. R.J. Moore, the junior midfielder, loses possession. Now Hopkins gets it back and has some space to work. Flips one inside for Martinez. He'll try and keep it in, tries to dance around a defender, and it's cleared away by the Generals. Nice stretch by Martinez, who was looking for goal number 2 on the season. Martinez, who had 6 goals and 5 assists last year, both led the team. He's got it again. Has it taken off his feet and now recovers. And it'll go out of play for a Washington and Lee throw. It was Seth Chapman, the sophomore, back there defending for the Generals. This Washington and Lee team under head coach Michael Singleton in his 6th season. 4 straight NCAA tournament appearances. Of course, their run was ended by Hopkins last season in the first round. The two teams met in the first round of the NCAA tournament last year. No scoring in regulation or overtime. They went to penalties, and Hopkins won it 4-2 in PKs to advance to the next round. Generals were eliminated. Bit of an overpass, but the Jays able to keep it in, and now they'll look to run. It's Alex Womman. He has it taken away, looking to recover, and Creedon will get it back to his back line. Of course, Hopkins won that first round game, then lost 2-0 as they were knocked out in the second round by Messiah last year. And there's a lot of contact, and the flag's going to go up from the assistant referee. And that looked like it was pretty close to the box. And Hopkins may have just won a penalty here, and they have. That was right on the edge of the box there, as it was a vicious takedown. And Hopkins will get a chance to take an early lead here. A penalty kick attempt for the Blue Jays. The junior Liam Creedon will take it for Hopkins, facing Michael Nick, the goalkeeper. Creedon looking for his first goal of the season. He had 1 last year. Creedon will take, and Creedon scores, and Hopkins is on the board first. Liam Creedon, the junior, with his first goal of the season on a penalty kick, and it's 1-0 Blue Jays. A quick goal from Hopkins just over 4 minutes into this one, and Creedon slots it into the right side. Michael Nick guessed wrong, and it was an easy goal for the midfielder. So a quick 1-0 lead for Hopkins here. As Washington Lee will now look to answer. That ends the shutout streak from Washington Lee. It'll end at 9 consecutive shutouts, and it'll end at 839 consecutive shutout minutes as Hopkins gets that early goal. So the stretch ends for Washington and Lee. The shutout streak for Michael Nick ends at 1,058 minutes as well, as both those streaks by the team and by the goalkeeper were up in the top 10 in the NCAA D3 record books. But that streak ends here at Homewood Field as the Blue Jays get on the board first with a penalty kick goal from Liam Creedon. He picks up his first goal of the season, his second career goal. And it's 1-0 for Hopkins. In the back there, it's headed away. Tim Trinan on the ball back there. And he will settle it in the back. Trinan, the sophomore defender out of Glendale, California. Looking for some space here, and he'll play it over to the right side. So obviously the streak continues, at least in giving up a goal in the run of play, which Washington Lee still has not done, but not a smart challenge on the edge of the penalty area down the right sideline, and it leads to a Hopkins lead. Back to Trinan as Hop will look to set its offense here with the early goal. And now the Generals will play it back to their keeper, Michael Nick, who will send one away up the middle part of the field. It's headed up towards R.J. Moore. He looks to track it down. Some contact, and that call will go against Alejandro McLean, the junior middie out of Riverside, Connecticut. He got his body in there, and the Generals will take over possession. More contact there, and another whistle. As Hop can't believe it. Julito Quintana in the back just got his foot in there. Julito Quintana, junior out of Riverside, Connecticut as well. And now Washington Lee will try and set up this set piece. Samuel Bass will take it, and he's got to pile up just on the edge of the 18-yard box. He swings it in front of the goal. It doesn't hit anybody until it ends up in the hands of Xander Lefevre, the junior goalkeeper, and he gets his first touch with the mitts today. That one was dangerous coming through the box, but nobody was able to get a head or a foot to it. And Hopkins regains control of the ball. Again, passing it around in the back. You're going to see Lefevre use his feet a lot, as he's going to be almost like an 11th field player at times out there for Hopkins. Here's Trinan trying to make a run. Pass is deflected away, and the Generals have it back. And now intercepted in midfield. Here's McLean. Pokes it ahead to himself and couldn't run it down, and it's back to Washington Lee. Creedon gets to it to head it away and stop any attacking chance for the Generals. And Hop wins it back. Axel Womman had it, was trying to create. He loses it. Here comes Washington and Lee. 1-0 in favor of Hopkins. A penalty kick goal in the 5th minute from Liam Creedon. Gave the Jays a 1-0 lead. And that's where it stands at the moment here at Homewood Field. First of 4 games in this Blue Jay Invitational between today and tomorrow. Hopkins bringing it up the right sideline here. They'll look for a little bit of space. It's Jonathan Brown. Brown, the junior forward out of New York. Play it back to McLean, who will try and loop one towards the box. Some contact, but no call as McLean gets it back. Martinez hit the deck there, but he didn't get the whistle from our head referee. Here's R.J. Moore. Over to Brown, and they'll send it back. Switch of fields here to Tim Trinan, but it's chased down here, and the Generals might have a break. Still going here, and a good tackle, but the whistle will blow. Maybe a tackle that Creedon felt like he needed to make there to save a goal-scoring opportunity, and a card is going to come out of the pocket. So a pretty busy day so far for Liam Creedon. He's got a goal. Now he's been shown a yellow card. And an interesting spot here for Washington and Lee to try and even up this match. Samuel Bass, again the freshman out of Charlotte, North Carolina, will take this one. You see it placed just inside the 20-yard line here on the football field markers at Homewood Field. There is another option, though, for Washington and Lee. Oliver Dolberg is over it as well. Dolberg will step over. Bass will take it, and it's well wide. Tried to put that one on goal and missed it badly to the right. And it'll be a goal kick for Hopkins. So 2 set pieces for the Generals so far. Bass has taken both of them. They've put it in the hands of the freshman. The first one was much better. That one, no chance at a goal-scoring opportunity. Tim Trinan again. We've seen him on the ball a lot. And Hopkins will hand it off for Connor Jacobs, one of the seniors on this back line. You'll see him at kind of that left wing back position trying to advance the ball. Senior out of Knoxville, Tennessee. Already has an assist on one of the 4 Hopkins goals this season. Some miscommunication there on a run, and Nick will run it down, the goalkeeper for Washington and Lee. Just about 11 minutes into this one. Hopkins has controlled the possession, and they've got the goal to show for it on the penalty kick from the junior Liam Creedon. Long ball played in, and Lefevre is right there for Hopkins. Soccer team, not the only team in action this weekend for Hopkins. The field hockey team stayed undefeated with a 3-1 win over Randolph-Macon here last night to go to 3-0. Of course, the Hopkins football team with a close victory on the road against Randolph-Macon on Thursday night to start its season 1-0. Looking to follow up its great NCAA semifinal season from 2018. Here's Jacobs, and he'll send it back to Trinan. Two of them have been on the ball a lot here on the left side of the field for Hopkins. Up to R.J. Moore. Moore splits the double. Over to Womman, and now he'll get it back. Trying to switch the fields. Brown brings it down. Little step over move. He hits the deck. And Washington and Lee will regain possession for the moment. Creedon whips one out of play, but it took a deflection. And it'll stay with the team in white. Hopkins team opened up on the road 1-1. Now back at Homewood Field. A nice flick on into the box. Couldn't get on the same page, and it's cleared away. Blue Jays went 6-2-1 here at Homewood Field last season. Looking to start it off 1-0. The last time they were here, October 20th, a 3-0 win over Sinus here at Homewood Field. Generals on the run now. Samuel Bass looking for some space, and it's cleared away by Moore. Some bodies colliding. It's Moore who wins it with a physicality, lets it run out of play, and he will have possession. He was fighting there for every inch, and he won the possession for his team. Jacobs into the back, again for Hopkins. Played all the way up the field. Nick, a little bit of a dangerous play there to come out and play it on the fly with the feet, but he got what he was looking for, cleared it to midfield, and the Blue Jays again are on the ball. Trinan looking for someone to find, whips one towards the box, and Nick is right there. Michael Nick, sophomore goalkeeper out of Killdeer, Illinois. Started every game, played every minute for the Generals so far this season. And he'll use his feet here out of the back. Played up the sideline to no one in particular, and Hopkins will get a free throw right there. Not on the same page with Charlie Colby, one of his freshman defenders. Flying through the air there, Julito Quintana. And a nice tackle by Quintana again to send it away. And that one will go out of play for a Hopkins throw. Just the one shot for each team so far. But Hopkins has the lead on the penalty kick goal from Liam Creedon. In the 5th minute, a run was taken down on the outskirts of the box. And it turned into an easy goal for Hopkins from the penalty spot. 1-0 is the score as we've got a foul on the edge of the field of play here. And Hopkins will get a chance to play one into the box. Play it in and deflected. Creedon will try it again, though, and this time gets it where he wants it. Womman trying to run it down, and Axel, the freshman, loses it out of play. But Jacobs right back on the ball. It's been the Hopkins defenders, including Lefevre in goal, who have really dominated the possession in this one. And they've been the ones who have started the attack, as the referee is going to blow the whistle and stop play. 16-19 into this first half, and he's going to come over and talk with the freshman Samuel Bass. And Bass, I think, is going to have to come off and be checked by the Generals athletic trainer. Not sure what this is about. Might be some blood on Bass, trying to get that cleaned up down there on the sideline. He's going to try to quickly come back into this game, and he will. So they get things sorted out, and now our referee is trying to sort out what Bass exactly has to do here. And now he's pointed him back to the sideline, and I believe he's going to make him wait until play resumes until he can come back in, which is the correct call from the ref. And now Bass will hop back onto the field for Washington and Lee. So the early goal from Hopkins, the difference so far in this one. R.J. Moore. Play for Trinan. Trinan up the field. Into the middle. With space, McLean. He'll play to Brown. Brown whip one in on the ground. It's loose in the box. And nice defending from the Generals. But no clearance as Brown runs it down. Switch of fields. Intercepted by Womman. Now trying it again. He'll play one up the sideline. Jacobs now. Connor Jacobs looking for any kind of space. And he'll whip it back to Trinan. Now into the middle of the field. Liam Creedon. And Hopkins just completely controlling the possession here. We'll try to run it through to Martinez. And it'll have to be cleared away by Seth Chapman, the sophomore defender out of Michigan for Washington Lee. I think he thought his goalkeeper was going to come onto it. And instead, at the last second, he had to clear it out of bounds. Now Martinez towards the box. Knocked down by Oliver Dolberg. Creedon back on it, though, and right back to Martinez. He'll play to the sideline. Now it's Moore. Moore flips it in, gets it back. Here's Moore, tried to feed inside, but his pass was deflected. But it's right back to Hopkins. Creedon has it. He's got Brown if he wants him. Instead goes to Moore. He'll have a left-footed shot, and it's wide. Good run of play there from Johns Hopkins. No goal to show for it. But they dominated that stretch right there, but the shot goes wide and a goal kick for the Generals. R.J. Moore was looking for his second goal of the season. Hopkins trying to win that goal kick back. Dolberg loses it. Womman not able to keep it in. And it'll be Eric Dragon who will take the throw. Oh, a high boot there. Got some oohs and ahs from the crowd on the sideline, but Tim Trinan seems to be okay. Almost took a cleat to the face right there. but he'll continue on. Lefevre again, playing with fire in the back, but Trinan will get it going again. Hopkins has a lot of trust in their junior goalkeeper and his ability to use his feet on the back line. Trinan again just setting up the offense. And it's back to Quintana. Hopkins content to wait for things to develop here 20 minutes into this one. Not a lot of pressure from the Generals here. Now Trinan will whip one, looking for a run from Martinez, and he'll get it off the head of Dragon. Pablo Martinez now has it knocked off his feet and out of play. Junior out of Darien, Connecticut, 1 goal for him this season. He had 6 of them last year, Martinez. It's McLean, and again, it is Tim Trinan out of Glendale, California, a sophomore who's had the ball in his foot more than any other Hopkins player so far today. Again, the goal for Hopkins, 5th minute, Liam Creedon. A penalty kick goal made it 1-0 in favor of the Blue Jays. Since then, they've controlled possession, but we still stand at just the 1 goal on the board. And Lefevre has it now. I know it's early in this one. We've played just about 22 minutes here at Homewood Field, but Hopkins is content to possess this in the back for good amounts of this game, and the Generals content to let him do so, at least here in this first half. Soon as they cross midfield, though, the pressure comes, but before then, it's really just one forward from Washington Lee. It's Harry Pinkerton who has applied the pressure. Nice ball over top here. Womman brings it down, flips it back for Brown, and couldn't get it all the way back to him. But Hopkins will keep it. Liam Creedon always there to intercept those clears and keep it for Hopkins. McLean looking for Brown. He'll keep it in. He's on the left side now. Brown will whip one in towards the box, and Nick is there, the goalkeeper, to grab it and corral it for Washington and Lee. Long ball that Jacobs knocks down. A second try up the field for Harris Salem. And he'll get the throw here. Salem into Pinkerton. Really haven't called their names on the ball too much in this one. Pinkerton has his pass deflected. Now Hopkins will look to run. A ball up for Pablo Martinez here. He's trying to go 1-on-2. He's got a runner on the left side. It's Quintana. He'll try to play for Quintana, and it's headed away at the last moment, and Hopkins will take the corner kick. Good last-second defending there from Washington and Lee. It was Oliver Dolberg who got back there to head it out of play, and Hopkins will get a corner. Second corner kick of the day for the Blue Jays, looking to extend this 1-0 lead. Creedon will take it. He's got McLean there short if he wants him. Instead plays to R.J. Moore, who will whip one, and that's well high, and it sails into the parking lot. But Moore had the space to fire that one, and he took the chance. It just sailed high on him. Couldn't get over top of that ball. He's going to be kicking himself there, though, because he had a lot of space. And we've got a substitution for Hopkins. Akim Junker will check in for the first time this season. Yonker, who's had an injury issue that kept him out of the first 2 games, the senior forward from Union, New Jersey, is back in there for Hopkins, and that's a good sign for this Blue Jays team. One of the captains of this squad, 20th in school history and career points, and he takes it away and quickly looking for his first goal of the year. Yonker feeds it into the middle. It's McLean now. Brings it back to the left foot. Now Martinez and Jacobs. Jacobs will play to the middle. Creedon now. He'll try and switch the field. Header's bounced up in the air. And Hopkins will control it around midfield. Played into the box here. Yonker will look to run it down, and he'll get a throw for his team. Jacobs will take it. Akim Yonker last year missed 7 games due to injury, and he's already missed 2 this year. But he had 4 goals and 5 assists in just 13 contests in 2018. Trinan tries to swing one in, couldn't find the head of Moore, and the Generals have it back. Clearance, though, finds Trinan. A little bit of a misstep. Trinan looking for someone to feed it to. R.J. Moore. Now it's McLean. He'll play one on the ground, and it's close to Yonker, who was looking for his first goal. But Michael Nick, the goalkeeper, out there to get to it. See on the replay there, Yonker was that close to getting onto that ball. But instead, the goalkeeper was there. But he's right back on it now. Of course, Yonker, even with him missing 7 games last year, was a first-team all-conference performer with the 4 goals and 5 assists. And whenever he's on the field, he makes a huge impact. Maybe the most talented player on this Hopkins team. And they're going to need him here in his senior year. He's on the ball quickly. Feeds it away. Hopkins said it took a deflection. The referee didn't agree. And Washington Lee has it for just a split second before Yonker gets on the ball. McLean now. Looking to whip one around, and him and Yonker weren't on the same page. But again, Creedon there to intercept, and he'll play it into the back. Just about 28 minutes into this one. Maybe a break for Washington Lee here. A nice ball played up the right side. It's a 2-on-2 here for the Generals. Looking to even this one. Whipped into the box, and it's just past the outstretched hands of Lefevre and out of play for a goal kick. Not sure if that was a shot or a pass or a cross there. But either way, Hopkins avoiding danger. And the lead stays at 1-0. Trying it into the back. Hopkins still controlling that possession. 5th minute penalty kick goal from Liam Creedon, and it's 1-0 Hopkins. Coming in at 1-1 on the season, Washington Lee 2-0. And that Hopkins goal in the 5th minute ended a streak of 839 consecutive shutout minutes from Washington and Lee that amassed parts of 11 different games dating back to last season. And Hopkins ends that with a penalty kick goal. Craig Appleby, the head coach in his 12th season, was looking for Trinan and Jacobs to play it up the field there. It looked like he didn't get what he wanted. He was a little aggravated on the sideline. Again, it's Trinan with all the space he wants. He'll try and feed one over the top. Hopkins is on it, played into the middle and cleared away, at least for the moment. It was Nate Scherendorf who was chasing down that ball, but Washington and Lee is coming the other way. Bass tried to feed it to the outside, tried to find Salem, and he couldn't get it to him. Here's McLean. Trinan, a lot further forward than he's been. Now Creedon will have to drop back and take his spot on the back line as Washington and Lee looks to counter. Up the far sideline comes Kyle Derish, and nothing doing there for the Generals. Less than 15 minutes until halftime here. 1-0 for Hopkins. The opener of this Blue Jay Invitational. Moore will play it up the sideline. He was looking for Nate Scherendorf. And the junior from East Hanover, New Jersey, couldn't quite get to it. But Hopkins has a throw in. Good possession here. Scherendorf in the corner. Battling for possession. And he wins a corner for Hopkins. Nice one-on-one battle down there in the corner with Charlie Colby, the freshman defender out of Prairie Village, Kansas. And Hopkins gets its third corner kick of the day. Creedon will take it. He's got McLean short if he wants him. But the Generals cover that up. Creedon will whip one in, an outswinger headed across the goal mouth. Hopkins trying to run it down, and it's kept in play for a moment. But it'll be a throw for Washington and Lee, as Martinez got all the way over there but couldn't quite keep it in. And now we got some mass substitutions here late in this first half. For Hopkins, Ben Bay will check in, along with Brian Lenzer. And Aaron Dang. So it's the junior forward Aaron Dang, the junior forward Ben Bay, and the sophomore defender Brian Lenzer. All three of them check in for Hopkins for the first time today. And it's Bay quickly on the ball. Looking to give a breather to the guys playing up top for Hopkins. So you'll see Bay and Dang try and get on the ball. Moore looked for the header, couldn't get to it. Lenzer, the sophomore from Owings Mills, tries to get onto it. And instead it's back to Jacobs. Headed away loosely. Some back and forth possession. And that'll be played back to Lefevre. Xander Lefevre out of Glenwood, Maryland, Glen Elk High School in Howard County. Second team All-Centennial Conference performer last season. 20 starts, a .89 goals against average and a .783 save percentage. It's 6 shutouts last year in net, posting a shutout so far today through almost 35 minutes of play here in this first half. This one will be whipped across the field. Junker is on it. He'll swing one in. It's headed in! What a goal! It's set up by Junker, and Ben Bay is on the other end for a 2-0 Hopkins lead. That's what Hopkins missed its first 2 games. Having a Kim Junker out there to whip in those crosses, and Ben Bay gets the headed goal for his first career goal in a Hopkins uniform for the junior out of Leesburg, Virginia. Bay in the right place at the right time. A perfect ball played in by his senior teammate. First assist of the year for Kim Junker, and it's 2-0 Hopkins as they score in the 35th minute to take a 2-goal lead. Ben Bay, who played in 11 games last year, started 3 of them after he actually had 9 starts as a freshman in 2017. Has now come off the bench in all 3 games this year and gets his first career goal for the Blue Jays. One he's been looking for a while here. Now Hopkins looking for more, as it'll take a deflection across the touchline. And it's a throw for the Blue Jays. Told you about the action around Hopkins Athletics. Of course, field hockey with a 3-1 win over Randolph-Macon last night here at Homewood Field. Football got the W, 17-12 over Randolph-Macon on Thursday on the road. And the Hopkins women's soccer team just finishing up on the road. A 2-2 draw for them on the road against Stevens. And the men's soccer team a 2-0 lead here, 36 minutes in. A PK goal for Liam Creedon in the 5th minute, and then a 35th minute header goal for Ben Bay. They look for 3 here, a lot of contact around the goal line, but it'll be a goal kick for the Generals. For Junker, he got that assist, his 8th career assist in his 4 seasons at Hopkins. He had 5 last year and 1 in each of his freshman and sophomore seasons. That puts him at 56 career points in a Hopkins uniform, which ranks 20th in school history. He returns from injury today, missed the first 2 games, and Hopkins missed him, of course. Won the first one 3-1 against Hampton Sydney, and then lost 2-1 to Mary Washington in overtime. That game was last Saturday. Looking to bounce back with a win in their home opener. Another ball looking for Bay. It's headed down and cleared out of the air. It's Trinan. Now for Aaron Dang, junior out of Bloomfield, Connecticut. He's a transfer from UConn. A very successful program at the Division I level. He was at UConn in 2017, but did not play there, and then transferred to Hopkins last year. Long ball up for Junker. He keeps it down, tried to win a corner. Wasn't able to do so, but Jacobs heads it right back to him. Now he'll take possession, but I believe a handball. And now the referee was talking to one of the substitutes for Washington and Lee, who was warming up on the sideline. And I think he told him to either move or get closer to the fence down on that sideline. But he's in disbelief right there. as Hopkins has the possession in the back. Whoever it is, he's taking a stroll back to the Generals bench now. 3 subs getting ready to come in for Hopkins in our next stoppage of play, with about 6 minutes before halftime. Maybe Hopkins pushing for a 3rd goal before the half. It's up to Dang. Play it over to Ben Bay, who provided a spark coming off the bench, gets his first goal to give Hopkins the 2-0 lead, a 35th minute header off a cross from Akim Yonker. And again, it's Trinan just playing it through the back, and he'll send it over to Quintana. Quintana makes a nice move. Try and play a through ball up the sideline. It's intercepted by Charlie Colby, but Colby gives it away to Dang. Dang, though, couldn't keep it in play. Now a little bit of pushing and shoving, and the referee is going to blow the whistle, stop the clock just over 40 minutes into this half, and he's going to come have a chat here with one of the Washington and Lee players, who walks away in disgust. Looks like that was George Biddle, the sophomore midfielder out of Del Mar, California, who got into a little bit of a shoving match, but he did most of the shoving against Aaron Dang. No card shown, but referee issuing a warning over there. Biddle in the number 5 jersey. He does have 1 goal already this season, 1 of the 5 scored by Washington and Lee. That one's clipped up the field. It's going to be a race for possession, and Bay gets to it. He's been everywhere since entering this game. Talk about those 5 goals from Washington and Lee. They played 2 games last weekend. Started with a 4-0 win over William Patterson, and then a 1-0 win over Brandeis in back-to-back days last weekend to get to 2-0. Yonker makes a little step-through move. He's still got possession. Dazzling on the left side. Tries a shot. It's deflected. Comes back to him, and now it's booted away. You see Lefevre there all the way out of his box and over to the left side to corral that pass. A lot of space for Hopkins to work up the right side now. That one's whipped into the box, right on goal, and it's just over the crossbar. Wouldn't have counted anyway. The flag was up on the far side from the assistant referee. So he was offside anyway, but Aaron Dang was in there looking for Hopkins' 3rd goal. Obviously one you'd like to see him finish anyway, but the flag was up for offside. Just a few minutes until halftime here. 2-0 for Hopkins. There's a lot of contact, and Dang was just pulled down to the ground there. Not sure what the argument is there from Tyler Smith, the freshman defender for Washington Lee. So he had his hands around Dang and just pulled him to the ground. Now it's Brian Lenzer. Play a 1-2 pass with Dang. Tryon will have to be good with this one with the head, and he does just what he wanted over to Quintana. See if Hopkins has one more run in him. 2 minutes to play until halftime. At the half, Coach Singleton and Washington and Lee, they're going to have to put some more pressure on these Hopkins defenders to try and win this ball back. Nice little move into the box, looking for 3. It's played across to Yonker, and he makes the field goal, but can't get it in as he was looking for goal number 3. Just got a little too far under that one, but it was very close to goal number 3 for Hopkins. Couple of great passes here as Hopkins will make a couple of late substitutions right before the half. And I mean just about a minute before the half, as they'll get Matthew Schneiderman, the sophomore, into the game. And Alex Way, the freshman, will join him. Number 17 and number 21 out there on the field for Hopkins as Ben Bay tries to win that goal kick. He does head it down, but it's right back to the Generals goalkeeper. Under a minute to play in the first half. 2 goals for Hopkins. Washington in the lead, though, looking for its first. Little bit of space. Try a long shot, and it's in! What a goal scored there as Washington in the lead gets one back right before the half. It's Harris Salem, the junior from Blacksburg, Virginia, with a beautiful strike, and it's 2-1. May have caught Xander Lefevre in goal just a bit off guard, but that one was slotted into the upper left-hand corner of the goal. Salem gets his first of the season, his 8th career goal, and it's 2-1, and Washington and Lee will come right back the other way, looking to maybe equalize as a foul is called, and they'll get a set piece with 16 seconds remaining in the half. So things have shifted here as Samuel Bass, the freshman, will get one final set piece opportunity in the half for the Generals. A stunning strike from Salem made it 2-1, and now a chance to even it just before halftime. It'll be Bass to whip it in. He'll play towards goal. Lefevre deflects it out. Washington Lee can get a corner if they hurry, but I'm not sure if they have enough time. They'll rush it into the corner. It'll be swung in, and the whistle blows as Lefevre gets a hand to it. And that will take us to the half here at Homewood Field. Hopkins dominated the possession in that first half. Liam Creedon with a penalty kick goal in the 5th minute made it 1-0. And then Ben Bay, the substitution, heads one in for a 2-0 Hopkins lead. But in the 45th minute, just seconds before halftime, Harris Salem, the junior for Washington Lee, a stunning goal from outside the box, slotted one into the upper left-hand corner of the goal. And it made it a 2-1 game as we hit the half at Homewood Field. We'll be right back for the second half. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to HopTV. Back for the second half of action here at Homewood Field as the Johns Hopkins Blue Jays lead the Washington and Lee Generals 2-1. So we're getting ready for the second half in this first game of this weekend's Blue Jay Invitational. Connor Newcomb with you here on HopTV as Hopkins really dominated the entirety of possession in that first half. They got the first goal in the 5th minute on a penalty kick from Liam Creedon that made it 1-0. And then in the 35th minute, just a couple minutes after subbing on, the junior Ben Bay got a header goal to make it 2-0. And really on Washington Lee's first break in over 10 minutes, they got their one goal just about 30 seconds before halftime. It was the junior midfielder Harris Salem who got his first goal of the season on a strike from about the 25-yard line that found the upper left-hand corner of the goal past the keeper, Xander Lefevre. And that made it 2-1 as we hit the half here at Homewood Field. And now just about to get set and go for the second half of action. First game of 4 this weekend, first game of 2 today at Homewood Field. Next up, after about a half-hour break, it'll be Montclair State and Mary Washington. You can watch it right here on HopTV. Then tomorrow at 1, the Blue Jays take on number 6 in the country, Montclair State Redhawks. And at 3:30 tomorrow, Washington and Lee squares off with Mary Washington. So a good weekend of college soccer here at Homewood Field. And Hopkins starting it off with, again, a dominant half, but they only have the 1-goal lead, 2-1. They had one more really good chance right before Washington Lee got its goal. Kim Yonker had a great chance that could have made it 3-0. Just pushed the shot up over the bar. And the Generals came back with a beautiful goal to keep them right in this game. As we start our second 45. Here from Homewood Field, Hopkins 2, Generals 1. Long pass up for Jonathan Brown, who almost ran it down right off the kickoff. But Michael Nick, the goalkeeper, was there to pick it up. Brown, the junior out of New York, who has 1 goal already on the season, was looking for number 2 off a quick start from Hopkins there. Hopkins in the white jerseys, the light blue shorts. Washington Lee in the all darker blue uniforms with the fading to the gray up top. And Hopkins will play out of the back like they did for most of the first half. 7 shots for Hopkins in the first half, 4 shots for Mary Washington. A little bit of a knock around of the possession here. And Nick has it in the back. He'll clear it only as far as Axel Womman, who tries to run down his touch, but he can't get to it, and it'll be a Generals throw. This Washington and Lee team comes in at 2-0. 4-0 win over William Patterson and a 1-0 win over Brandeis last weekend. They had come into this with over 800 consecutive minutes shutting teams out dating back to last season, but Hopkins got that 5th-minute penalty kick goal to end that streak at 839 scoreless minutes for oppositions against the Generals. And this Washington Lee team used that scoreless streak last year to get to a 14-3-2 overall record in 2018. And, of course, went to the first round of the NCAA tournament and took on this Johns Hopkins team. And the two teams were scoreless through regulation. Here's Womman. He's got a shot, and it's 3-1 Hopkins. The Blue Jays just snuck that one through, and Axel Womman has his first career goal for the freshman. It was almost as if the Jays had lulled the back line of Washington Lee to sleep right there. And then Womman just snuck through and makes it 3-1. A big goal to get Hopkins back up by that 2-goal advantage. Axel Womman, the freshman out of Riverside, Connecticut. Started the first 2 games of the year, get his first career goal for the first-year man out of Fairfield Prep High School. So now Washington and Lee tries to get back. Alejandro McLean gets the assist. The junior out of Riverside, Connecticut. The two from the same hometown, they link up as McLean picks up his first assist of the season. And for McLean, it is his 8th career assist. So he had 1 last year and 6 of them as a freshman in 2017. So now Hopkins with that 2-goal lead again will try and control that possession. It's Quintana. And Lefevre out of the back. Hopkins in each half scoring in the first 5 minutes. Now up the left sideline, another scoring chance. This one's played into a deflection. Jacobs looking to run it down. But there's a turnover, and a big one here. Ben Solinger. And he gives it away. And another giveaway. Hopkins looking for a deflection. R.J. Moore doesn't get the call he wants. And they'll send it back down the field here for a Generals throw. Charlie Colby try to send it up the field, and Solinger has it. Now it's Brown. He has it taken away, dispossessed. Mickey Kutsinzira loses it. Kutsinzira, you see, he's wearing the number 14 uniform. He's listed as number 31 on the roster, but left the jersey in the hotel room today. So he had to get the extra number 14. So there's no number 14 listed on the official roster, but it is the freshman out of Zimbabwe, Kutsinzira. He had a breakaway in the first half and tried to hook one into the box, but it went too far in front of his overlapping forward and across the goal mouth out of play for a goal kick. Good ball up the sideline. Jonathan Brown trying to corral it, but couldn't quite bring it down. And it'll be a Generals throw. Little shove in the back there, and that'll go as a whistle against Julito Quintana. Three to 1 Hop. Just over 50 minutes played at Homewood Field. 5th minute, 35th minute. The goals in the first half for Hopkins. And in the 48th minute in the second half. 45th minute, right before halftime, for the Washington Lee goal. Battle for it down by the goal line, and Connor Jacobs with the physicality wins it and wins a goal kick for the Blue Jays. Hopkins looking for the victory here. Get him back over 500 at 2-1 on the season. And then the big-time test tomorrow against undefeated and 6th ranked in the country Montclair State. So they'll play at 1 o'clock here at Homewood Field tomorrow afternoon. Montclair State, of course, playing later today at 3:30 against Mary Washington as part of this Blue Jay Invitational. Up the field, the Generals trying to make something happen offensively. It's Kyle Derish. Into the middle, and it's quickly intercepted by Quintana. And he'll turn it around and play it into the back. It's where Connor Jacobs lies, the senior out of Knoxville. One of the co-captains of this team. Started every game of his Hopkins career. Now 62 starts in 62 games as a Blue Jay for the senior defender Connor Jacobs. If all goes correct for him, he'll start every game this year as well and finish out that number in a great 4-year career on the back line. He does have 4 career goals, 12 career assists, including 1 so far this season. Now Pablo Martinez, he's dispossessed. Pinkerton trying to make something happen. Big collision. Kutsinzira hits the deck. Now a shot saved by Lefevre, the rebound, and he corrals it. Connor Wharton, the sophomore out of Colorado, was looking for the goal, and Lefevre made a nice stop. And then even more importantly, here after the shot, he jumps on it quickly to avoid any rebound. And now we're going to go back to Mickey Kutsinzira, who went down hard in that collision at midfield. The advantage was played because Washington Lee still had the break, and Kutsinzira, a freshman originally from Zimbabwe, played prep high school soccer in Connecticut at the Putnam Science Academy, which has great athletic programs up there in Connecticut. And he is still down on the field as the Generals athletic trainer out to check on him. Clock stopped at 52:56 into this one, 3-1. Hopkins has the lead. And now Kutsinzira will come out. He started all 3 games so far as a freshman for Washington and Lee. Still looking for his first point. 5'8" midfielder. But he's been on the ball a little bit today, and General's hoping he can get back in there. Oliver Dolberg will head back out there, the senior out of Clovis, California. You see him, big 6'3", kind of a defensive midi. Started every game for the Generals this year. And now Lefevre is maybe a little confused about what to do with the ball here. Hopkins with the ball again. It's Tim Trinan again, who's setting up this offense. Now Liam Creedon, who has the first goal on the penalty kick, also has a yellow card. He's been playing on that yellow. It's about the first 10 minutes of the game. Got it right after he scored the goal. Back to Lefevre now. And he'll swing one up the sideline. Now Jacobs being pressured from behind. He's going to drop it back. And a little bit of a turnover here. Fight for the ball in the corner, and the whistle blows. And it was Jacobs who hit the deck, but it's going to be a Washington and Lee kick. The Generals win the battle in the corner. It was John Peterson, the freshman out of Towson, Maryland, who used the physicality to win a free kick in the corner for the Generals. Connor Wharton, the sophomore, will take it. Wharton, left-footed, swings into the box, and it's punched away by Lefevre. Still loose out front, though, for Peterson. Swung across the box. Wharton will try to send it in again, and it's booted away. Now maybe Hopkins looking to run. They'll give it up to Brown. Brown's got a little bit of space on the near sideline. He's tripped up, and the whistle blows. So he was taken down, and Brown wins a kick for Hopkins. Brown was taken down back on that play by Eric Reck. And Hopkins has it back. Little space, looking for RJ Moore, but the pass a little strong for him. Creedon able to run it down. Flipped into the middle of the field. Washington Lee now with John Peterson. Played his high school ball at Boys Latin here in the Baltimore area, and he wins a throw. We'll get a substitution here for Washington and Lee. And Harris Salem, the goal scorer, will check into the game as Kyle Derish will head to the bench. Salem, who scored a gorgeous right-footed goal from well outside the penalty area with about 30 seconds left in the first half, made it 2-1. Hopkins since gotten one to make it 3-1. Long throw into the box. It's up, and Lefevre goes up to get it. Now loose in front of the goal. It's still alive, and Hopkins will head it away. Lefevre is furious with the referee, asking for a foul there, saying he had corralled the ball and was knocked into to lose possession. And Lefevre might be picking up a yellow card here. The referee stops play And now he's going to come have a chat with the Hopkins defenders. But no card comes out of his pocket. Xander Lefevre, the junior goalkeeper, was furious right there, and it'll be a corner for Washington and Lee. Wharton will take it, whips it in with a left foot, headed away. Still loose in the box. Wharton back on it. Nice play by McLean, though. Alejandro McLean, a good step to the ball to take it away. But now right back. Whipped into the box again. Lefevre is there. Xander Lefevre coming up big here the last couple of minutes for Johns Hopkins. Nice job to come off his line right there and attack the ball. And it's still a 3-1 Blue Jays lead. Still playing with it in the back. And now it's Moore. We'll look to advance it. Now Hopkins has a little bit of space for Connor Jacobs. Jacobs looking to switch the fields here. And he does so over to Ben Solinger, the freshman out of Evanston, Illinois. Now McLean looking for Solinger, and he finds him. Here's the freshman on the right foot. Gets by his man towards the goal line, whips it in, and it's deflected out of bounds for a Hopkins corner. Ben Solinger, who has now started all 3 games for Hopkins this season, had 16 assists in his final 2 high school years in Illinois. Almost got another one there. Instead, Hopkins plays the corner short. Here's Moore. A give and go with Creedon. R.J. Moore has it deflected out. And Hopkins, thought they had won another corner kick. I'm not sure about that one. It looked like it was off the Generals defender, but it's going to be a goal kick for Washington and Lee. And the Generals catch a break right there. Michael Nick, the sophomore, boots it away. Hopkins again right on those goal kicks. A long run for Martinez, and Nick will just have to play it out of bounds to keep it off the foot of the junior forward Pablo Martinez, who has 1 goal this year, looking for his 2nd. Solinger and Martinez not on the same page, and the Generals get the throw. So we've hit the hour mark in this one. Hopkins has a 3-1 advantage with just 30 minutes to play from Homewood Field. Here's Jonathan Brown, now Solinger. Now on the opposite side, it's Jacobs. Jacobs weaving his way in towards the box, but loses possession. And now a dangerous play there, and another card is going to be shown maybe, and Creedon already on a yellow. He's got to be careful here. But the referee will not reach into his pocket. Just a common foul on Liam Creedon, and he'll get to stay on the pitch here. And Hopkins, more importantly, will get to continue 11-on-11 with this 3-1 lead. Now Washington and Lee looking for a break here. Pass for Kutsinzira. Goes back to Hopkins, but now a turnover at midfield. Here's Salem. Salem to Connor Wharton. And back to Salem, the goal scorer for the Generals today. He brings it into the corner. And it's given away for just a moment. Now Oliver Dolberg. Dolberg looking for a shot. Lefevre right to it. Diving to his right side to make another save. His 4th of the day. And it remains 3-1. Xander Lefevre's been on his game in this one. That 1 goal. One that not many keepers are going to save at the end of the first half. Long ball up for Brown. Brown's got a lot of space to work if he can get by his first defender. Whips it in front, and Hopkins leads 4-1. This offense is on fire today, and it's a 3-goal lead for the Blue Jays. It's Axel Womman again. He's got another one. His second goal today, and it's 4-1 Blue Jays. Jonathan Brown picks up the assist, his first helper of the season, and the third assist of his career for the junior. As Hopkins will make a substitution after the goal, Matthew Schneiderman, the sophomore from Staten Island, will check in. And that was just a lot of speed from Jonathan Brown on the outside that led to that goal. So Womman gets the goal, his second goal today for the freshman out of Riverside, Connecticut. And we've got a foul just outside the box here, and Washington and Lee is going to get a chance to try and get back within 2 goals. Told you Schneiderman checked in. Ben Bay, number 5, the junior forward, who had that headed goal in the first half, he checks back in as well for the Blue Jays. We'll see what Washington and Lee can do with this free kick. Feels like they might need to score right here to keep themselves in it. 63rd minute of this one at Homewood Field. Kutsinzira over the ball. He's going to take it, and it's just over the crossbar. Lefevre was there anyway to cover it up, but it goes high. So Hopkins, which had scored 4 goals combined in its first 2 games, the win and the loss last weekend, 3-1 win over Hampton Sydney and a 2-1 overtime loss to Mary Washington, now has 4 goals today. But Washington and Lee looking to answer. That one's cleared away, up to Martinez. Tries to head one around his defender. Then he'll chase it down. Michael Nick will clear it away. This one's up to Schneiderman. Now Kutsinzira. And Peterson with a run, and John Peterson is taken down on the play. And the referee now going to have a chat with the senior Connor Jacobs, and Jacobs is shown a yellow card. So 2 Hopkins upperclassmen playing on yellows now. Liam Creedon got one very early in the first half. And now Connor Jacobs picks up a yellow card. (4-1) Hopkins. 64th minute of this one. It's Salem and Kutsinzira over top the ball. But Mickey Kutsinzira is going to take it. He'll float one towards the box. It's headed on goal, and Lefevre right there. Not a lot of strength on that header there. As Jack Rawlins, the sophomore, was able to get to it with the head. 6'2", a lot of size in there, but couldn't get a lot of velocity on it. Rawlins, who last year was the Old Dominion Athletic Conference Rookie of the Year. 15 starts, 2 goals, 1 assist. First team all-conference performer out of the back. Couple of headed goals. Already has a goal this season. Couldn't get that one. Brown looking to get to the ball. It's loose in the air, and a nice settle there from R.J. Moore, junior from Burtonsville, Maryland. Played at Gonzaga College High School, able to bring it down. Now the big body here of Oliver Dolberg, but he loses it. Schneiderman was right there, and he took it away. 25 minutes to play, 4-1. Hopkins has the lead. Here's Axel Womman. The freshman has 2 goals in this one. Now maybe he's thinking hat trick. Jonathan Brown now with a lot of speed on the outside. Brown takes 1 touch. He'll whip it into the middle, but nobody's there for Hopkins at the right time, as it'll be cleared across the line for a Hopkins corner. For Washington and Lee, it was Eric Recke, the junior out of Boyerstown, Pennsylvania, who got there to keep it off the foot of Matthew Schneiderman. And Brown's going to check out as Nate Cherendoff. Cherendoff will check in for Brown here. Cherendoff, a junior out of East Hanover, New Jersey. Corner here for Hopkins. Ben Bay is going to take it. Already has a goal in this one. Bay whips it in onto the head of Jacobs, but he just got the slightest of touches and couldn't direct it on goal. And it'll be a goal kick for Washington and Lee. That was well set up. Jacobs was open, just couldn't quite get the head to it. And that's an errant long pass that is taken by Tim Trinan and Moore. He's going to look up the field, but it's knocked down by Seth Chapman in the back for the Generals. Now it's Salem. Salem will play one into the box. Quintana is there, but Salem gets it back. He'll flip it to Peterson. Now to the other side of the field. It's George Biddle. And Biddle's pass back inside was cleared away. Long clearance goes out of bounds and back to the Generals here. Two in the first half, 2 in the second half for Hopkins. The Generals got 1 in the final 30 seconds of the first half. That made it a 2-1 game at the time. It's now 4-1. And some contact as Quintana hits the deck. And the call's going to go against the junior forward, Harry Pinkerton, out of Suwanee, Georgia, who actually has a connection here to Hopkins Athletics. Harry's sister, Abigail Pinkerton, is a sprinter for the Hopkins track team. She's a sophomore this year. So a little bit of a family rivalry here with Washington and Lee and Hopkins meeting. And the Blue Jays getting the best of it so far today. Long ball to Solinger. He's going to play it down and swing it over. Now Pablo Martinez will change fields. Womman looking for the hat trick, but his shot is blocked. Now Jacobs and back to Axel Womman. Now Tim Trinan. Womman tries to flip one over to him and didn't get the right contact on that one. Long ball up ahead for Harry Pinkerton. And Jacobs knocks it out of play. Pinkerton will take the throw. Kutsinzira has his cross blocked, and it goes out of play. See if Washington Lee goes with a long throw here, in position to make it happen. Instead he plays it short, and now the cross will come into the box. Header is up off the post, and Lefevre kept it out. Did he keep it out, or did it go for Washington and Lee? And I believe that one went in as the Generals get goal number 2. Lefevre trying to fool everybody and say he kept it out of the goal, but that was off the post and in with the header. And it's back to a 2-score game. A 4-2 score now in the 70th minute as the Generals get a goal. Flying high in the air there was the junior Harry Pinkerton, who gets his second goal of the season and his 6th goal of his career at Washington and Lee. Now it's back to a 2-goal game. Eric Recchi gets the assist, his first of the season for the Generals. And now Martinez back the other way. We'll see if Hopkins can get to 5. With that goal, as we've got 20 minutes to play now, not quite over yet at 4-2. Washington Lee now has 20 minutes to score twice without conceding. But the without conceding part has been tough for them today. Quintana has a lot of space out top. He'll send one into the box. Doesn't find anyone in particular as Nick makes the save, and he'll try and swing one out here to Harris Salem for a quick break. Salem will play it up the field. Kutsinzira has space, tries to find Pinkerton, but Quintana gets a foot on it to block what would have been a good goal-scoring opportunity if Kutsinzira could have gotten that cross over to Harry Pinkerton. Now Kutsinzira loses it. Schneiderman on it for Hopkins. He goes down, whistle blows, and the Blue Jays will have the ball. Schneiderman's pass is corralled on the sideline. And back to Lefevre. Takes a deflection out of play, and Jacobs will have a throw for Hopkins as the Blue Jays will make a sub here. Brian Lenzer, the sophomore, will check back in. And the junior R.J. Moore will head to the bench. Saw a bit of Lenzer in the first half, and now he's back in here in the second 45. See if Womman can run this one down. Axel Womman looking for the hat trick. Womman, it's saved. He's got a second chance now. The goalie's off his line. Over to Bay, but it's headed away. Axel Womman that close to a hat trick in his first game here at Homewood Field. Ben Bay up to Sullinger. Now back to Schneiderman, and he'll send it back for Brian Lenzer. Here's Jacobs into the corner. Womman has it. And now played all the way back again. Martinez gains possession. He's got space. He hands it off. Schneiderman couldn't find space. Now it's deflected on goal, and Michael Nick has it. He'll try and get this offense moving for the Generals. They've got 17 minutes to try and score twice. Nice play by Bay, though. Looking for Cherendoff. Instead, he's going to keep it himself. Here's Ben Bay. Junior out of Leesburg, Virginia, who scored once in this one. We'll toss it back to Lefevre. Now some space again for Hopkins. Schneiderman will turn it around and play it to the back. Lenzer gets pressured and gives it off to Quintana. Up to Bay. Bay trying to find space. He'll try and chip one up to Sullinger, but it's knocked away back to Bay. Now Martinez. He's got a little space in the middle. Looking to keep possession, and he'll just swing it back to Tim Trinan. Again, a lot of possession here from Hopkins. A lot of contact down there. Referee says bodies were just clinging together and there's no foul as it trickles into the goalkeeper. Just over 15 minutes left in this one. 4-2, Hopkins has the lead. Hopkins has 2 goals in each half. Washington Lee with 1 goal in each half. Remember, next up for Hopkins tomorrow at 1 against number 6 Montclair State. Right here at Homewood Field. You can watch it here on HopTV. I'll have the call for you in that one as Hopkins, well, hopefully for them at that point, look to make it a perfect 2-0 weekend here at the Blue Jay Invitational. Couple subs coming in for each team. Couple of new faces. Herson Morales, the sophomore out of Glen Burnie, will check in for Hopkins. And he will be joined by Matthew McFarquhar. McFarquhar checking in for the first time today, the senior forward out of Atherton, California. So a couple of subs hopping in for the first time with about 14 minutes to play. Cross comes in for Peterson now. Morales right on him. It'll be whipped into the middle, and Hopkins has it. Bay with space. He'll play it to the outside. Now Morales. Morales tries to feed one up the field, but it's a little too strong for McFarquhar. Here's Kutsinzira. Tries to get it up to George Biddle. Biddle tries to whip a cross in, but just goes out of play off the side of his foot for a goal kick. One more sub coming in for Washington and Lee. As Jack Parham, the junior out of Littleton, Colorado, will come in for the first time. Parham does have a goal. Played in that game against William Patterson in the 4-0 Washington and Lee win and got a goal in that one. Did not play against Brandeis. Now he gets in against the Blue Jays. Lefevre taking his time on this goal kick as the clock continues to tick with a 4-2 Hopkins lead. Some tough contact there. Pinkerton on it. Pinkerton with a header, pops it up in the air, gets it back, has a rip with the right foot, and it's well wide of the goal. It did take a deflection, however. So Washington and Lee corner kick coming here in the 78th minute of play. If they could get a goal here, they'd give themselves about 12 minutes to equalize. Didn't look like that was going to happen when it was 4-1 Hopkins late in this second half. George Biddle, the sophomore, will take it. Whips it in with a left foot, headed away. McFarquhar was there for Hopkins. Back in. It's dangerous in the middle of the box, but a foul is called. It'll go against the Generals as Tim Trinan of Hopkins hit the deck. Lefevre urging his teammates forward here as he'll play this goal kick long. Skied in the air over towards Solinger. Tipped over to the Generals. A lot of contact on Samuel Bass. But Tim Trinan wins it. And he's taken down from behind. Excuse me, that was Quintana on the ball. And Julito Quintana does a nice job to win possession and draw the whistle. Hopkins after this Blue Jay Invitational again today, and then tomorrow at 1 o'clock against Montclair State. They will continue their home slate on Wednesday night. That's September 11th at 7 o'clock right here at Homewood Field. They'll take on York College, and you can see that one right here on HopTV. Then they'll hit the road and head to Bridgewater, Virginia to take on Bridgewater next Saturday at 4 o'clock. That's the upcoming schedule for this Hopkins team. Washington Lee still pushing for that third goal. Might have a little space here. George Biddle's got to run this one down, and he will. Biddle on the left foot. Crosses it in, and it's deflected away. Only as far as the top of the box. That one's whipped in. It was Tyler Smith who got to it. And taken away by Ben Bay. Bay making a nice aggressive defensive play there, with under 10 minutes to go in this one. So Washington Lee was looking to avenge last year's NCAA tournament loss against Hopkins. The two teams met in the first round of the 2018 NCAA tournament. Nobody scored in regulation, nobody scored in overtime. It went to penalties, and Hopkins won it 4-2 in PKs. And moved on to the second round, where the Blue Jays would fall to Messiah 2-0 and end their 2018 campaign. So we'll get another sub coming in for each side. Jason Wierenski will come on for Hopkins. Interesting, we haven't seen him yet. He's played in both games so far this year and started one, but haven't seen him today for 81-plus minutes. On the other side, Tyler Bernard, the freshman, will check in for Washington Lee. And he'll come in for the first time today. Long ball looking all the way ahead for Nate Sherendorf, but it was just a little strong for him. As Michael Nick picks it up. Sherendorf trying to run that one down. Chapman for Washington Lee. They've got just 8 minutes to get 2 goals. Pushing up the field now. And it's cleared away. McFarquhar has space now. He's got some options. The senior will play it up the field, and it looks like Sherendorf was offside, and indeed he was. Flag is up from the assistant referee on the near side just in front of the Hopkins bench. And now Alejandro McLean will get set to check back in alongside Wierenski. Towards the box, Smith tries to pop it inside. And it comes all the way out to Sherendorf. Now Kutsinzira. Here's Smith. Over to the sideline. Nice defensive play. Herson Morales, the sophomore out of Glen Burnie and North County High School here in Maryland, makes a nice defensive stop. Morales appearing here in the game late. Played in 2 of the 3 games so far this year, after he played in 12 games and started 6 and even got himself a goal as a freshman last season. A little bit of pressure here from Washington and Lee. Biddle was trying to take it away and force the issue with just over 6 minutes to play. And the pass goes out for a Generals throw. And Biddle wanted to take it quickly, but he's going to be a little upset that substitutions are going to be made. He's actually going to come off as Tyler Bernard will come in for Washington and Lee. Alejandro McLean checks back in for Hopkins. And Jason Wierenski, number 2, the junior out of Suffield, Connecticut, has now appeared in all 3 games. Started one of the games last weekend, but we just now see him in the 85th minute of this one. So Werenski will provide an extra defensive body back there. It's loose in front, and the shot goes well wide. Samuel Bass, the freshman, had a chance to make this one really interesting with just over 5 minutes to play, but was falling as he took the shot, and Bass whips it well wide, as you can see right there. Hopkins just trying to contain this late pressure from Washington and Lee. As the clock will be stopped, as the referee thought Lefevre stalling a bit, trying to take this goal kick. And now it runs again, and we've got 5 minutes to play. Long ball for Werenski, couldn't run it down. As it was deflected away, and now it's Kutsinzira. A switch of fields here, dangerous spot for the Generals. Had a try at goal there, and Jack Parham was nowhere close. And another goal kick for the Blue Jays. Parham was looking for that second goal of the year right there, but maybe a little too much confidence in that attempt, from that angle especially. Lefevre will boot it away as the clock continues to tick towards a Hopkins victory. Contact with the elbow there as Morales goes down. Played on for Cherendorf. Cherendorf with a nice move. Gets to the left foot down the sideline. Still on the ball, he's knocked down, and the whistle goes the way of Hopkins. So Nate Cherendorf, the junior out of New Jersey, who's come off the bench in all 3 games this year, did make 3 starts in 17 games last year and had 2 goals and an assist as a sophomore in 2018. Ben Bay will play this one in from right on the sideline. It's a low swinger, and it's out to Brian Lenzer, who will chop it back over to Bay. Bay will try again. Cherendorf whips it in. Nice pass in front, and it's deflected out. Herson Morales had a great shot, as did Matthew McFarquhar. But McFarquhar gave it up to Morales, and it was Chapman there to get his body on it, deflected out for a Hopkins corner with just over 3 minutes to play. As Tim Trinan will hit the bench, and he had a great day. Trinan will head to the sideline. The sophomore defender out of California, he was on the ball a lot today. So Hopkins makes another sub. Alex Way, the freshman, back in there for him. We saw Way briefly at the end of the first half. Him in the number 17 uniform. Another corner for Hopkins. Whipped in towards goal and headed out again. And it will be another corner kick. As the clock ticks down to just 3 minutes remaining in this one. Alejandro McLean, the junior, will take it once again. In swinging corner, Morales trying to get the head to it, and instead it's cleared away. See if Jacobs tries to swing it back into the box. Now numbers for Hopkins, played across, and before the save could be made, the offside flag was up. So Jacobs ended up being offside on the initial pass. And Washington Lee looking to break quickly with just 2.5 minutes to play and trailing 4-2. That one cleared up the field. McFarquhar gives it up. McLean has Werenski back into the middle of the field. McFarquhar into the box. McFarquhar scores! The senior gets a late tally, and it's 5 goals for Hopkins as they lead it 5-2. Matthew McFarquhar with the late goal to officially put this one away for the Blue Jays. And they'll get a win in their home opener today. Second career goal for Matthew McFarquhar. His first since his freshman season when he scored against Stevenson all the way back in 2016. And he gets another goal right here to make it 5-2. Senior out of Atherton, California. isn't going to play a whole lot this year, but the senior gets a goal. Nate Cherendoff gets his first assist. Jason Wierenski gets an assist as well. Now it's Cherendoff. Maybe Hopkins looking for 6 with under 2 minutes to play. And he's taken down to the turf for a Hopkins kick. Good footwork there from Matthew McFarquhar to evade a couple defenders and then just slot that one to the left bottom hand corner of the goal past Michael Nick in goal. And the big storyline in this one, 5 goals for Hopkins. We'll see if they get more with under 90 seconds to play. But remember, coming into this one, this Washington Lee team, dating back to last season, had pitched 9 consecutive shutouts and had gone 835 minutes without allowing a goal. And Hopkins puts a 5 spot on them today. Craig Appleby's got to be very happy with his offense against one of the better defensive units they're going to see this season. So a minute to play here from Homewood Field, and Hopkins is going to win this one. Salem's going to have a go, and Lefevre will get to it anyway. Looked like it might have been curling just wide, but the junior goalkeeper will take no chances. And he's going to bounce this one out, let a little more time come off the clock with 40 seconds to play. So the first goal came early for Hopkins on a penalty kick. Liam Creedon slotted it away in the 5th minute to give Hopkins a 1-0 lead. Then it was Ben Bay off the bench on a header. Made it 2-0 in the 35th minute. Washington Lee got its first goal from Harris Salem right before the half to make it 2-1. But coming out of the half, Hopkins got 2 goals from Axel Womman to make it 4-1. Washington Lee got one back with Harry Pinkerton to make it 4-2. But then Matthew McFarquhar scores late, and that's the scoreline as the clock hits 90 minutes here from Homewood Field. It's a Blue Jays victory in the home opener. Hopkins wins it 5-2 over Washington and Lee. A great offensive display from Johns Hopkins today. 5 goals in this one against a team that was on such a great defensive shutout run in Washington and Lee. And the Generals suffer their first loss. They're now 2-1. Hopkins wins its home opener, gets its second win. And the Blue Jays also now 2-1 on this young season. Again, the goals one more time for Hopkins. Axel Womman got his first 2 career goals in this one. Ben Bay got one, Liam Creedon got one, and Matthew McFarquhar got one as well. On the other side, it was Harry Pinkerton and Harris Salem. They each had one for Washington and Lee. Remember, next up right here at Homewood Field, a 3:30 approximate start. May start a couple minutes after that. But Washington and Lee will take on Montclair State will take on Mary Washington at 3:30. You can watch that one here on HopTV. And then Hopkins will be back in action tomorrow. Again, it's a 1 o'clock start. That is tomorrow, September 8th at 1 p.m. And the 22nd ranked Hopkins Blue Jays will take on the 6th ranked Montclair State Redhawks. That'll be a really good one tomorrow from Homewood Field. So one more time for our director and producer Matt Lawrence and our entire HopTV crew. I'm Connor Newcomb signing off for now from Homewood Field. A dominant offensive display from Hopkins, and the Blue Jays win it 5-2 over Washington Lee. We hope you enjoyed this one. We hope you join us again tomorrow at 1 o'clock as Hop takes on Montclair State right back here on HopTV.